what our data-driven journey looks like, actually. And I would like to start from giving you a picture in a nutshell of what Enel is today. Enel is a multinational company operating in the energy sector, and I would say we are an Italian company that now is active in more than 32 countries all around the world. So we became actually a multinational group, and when it comes to renewable energies, we are the world's largest player with almost 50 gigawatts of capacity installed. And when it comes to the electricity distribution, we are by far the first network operator, and we are serving with our 2.5 million kilometers of electrical lines, more than 74 million end users. And we are selling electricity, gas, and advanced energy services to 70 million customers in the countries where we operate. And we put at the center of our strategy digitalization. Why? Because we see a lot of value to be unlocked when it comes to interacting and engaging our 70 million customers that we have seen before. And we see a lot of value also related to the fact that thanks to digitalization, we can improve the way we operate our asset base. And finally, when it comes to digitalization, it's a very good opportunity also for providing our people with better services, and so engage ourselves and offering them a seamless interaction with us. How our digital strategy has been built. In 2015, we have launched our digital strategy that was actually based on 3 enablers. Cloud, we moved all our application to cloud, looking for flexibility, time to market, and reliability and scalability. And this is why we have focused our development strategy onto global platforms that are supposed to support us also in having, I would say, a kind of platform operating model that is actually enabling us in scaling up the way we operate in all the countries where we are actually working today. And the higher the level of digitalization, the higher is the risk exposure. So this is why we have put cybersecurity by design as one of the main pillars of our digitalization strategy. And what about the way we work? So we adopted the Agile Way of Working, and this is a very good thing if you want to put together people coming from the IT department and people coming from the business lines in order not to have any longer, at least, this dichotomy between the IT service provider, internal service provider, and then the internal customer. So we have no longer this distinction. We are putting together people with the same mission, so to leverage on digital technologies and to answer to business challenges. And to do that, we are asking all our people to push as much as they can onto a data-driven approach. To achieve what? To achieve what we call digital impact. So to have a digitalization program, investing a lot of money, investing a lot of effort without being able to measure what the impact is, according to us, is not so meaningful as it could be. And this is why digital impact is, I would say, our strategic goal, our strategic aim at the end of the day. And leveraging on this center of our strategy, so the data-driven way of working, we have launched in 2019 a transformation program. So the payoff actually is data is power in our hands. And this is the way we are using to spread the data-driven approach across all the functions, all the business lines, all the countries of our group. But why data is power in our hands is so important for us? Because as Enel, we are producing a lot of data because we are listening to what our renewable plants all around the world are actually doing. We are looking at the load measurements from the smart meters we have installed in the households of our customers. We are having multi-channel interaction with our customers, and we are, for instance, receiving a lot of invoices from our suppliers, a lot of resume from the people who want to work with us. And we are looking at the outside world to understand what's going on when it comes to Enel on the media, for instance, and the press. But we are producing much more data than what you can see represented in these slides. And this is why, if we look at the trends we had in the past, so it's quite impressive to me, because if we look at the amount of data we are producing every year, it is growing double digit. And if we compare 2019 to 2010, for instance, we have 20 times the data produced in 2019 versus what we have produced in 2010. So this is why we felt the need of launching a comprehensive program to exploit all the potential, all the value we see in this impressive amount of data. We began working on a data governance framework because we realized that you can have a lot of data, but if the rules are not set properly, this data cannot be used in the proper way. We then realized that you need technology. So you need a platform or a series of platforms to make data available and to enable the what we call transforming data into information. And then you need know-how, because you can have the best technology possible, but if you do not have enough very specialized know-how in your company, then you will not be able to transform data into insights, into information, as we have said. And finally, you have to work onto your people, because you can have the best, I would say, data governance framework, the best data platform and technology in place, the best data scientists in your organization. But if in the end data are not used to drive information, to drive decision making, so actually all this framework is actually useless. And this is why, starting with the data governance, we have been working on making available a data catalog for our people. So to understand where data is, from what system they are coming from, so who's responsible for that specific data, and so on and so on. And we began defining data quality policies and deploying data quality automatic check in order to ensure consistency and of the data along their life cycle. Then we moved to the platform, and we very soon realized the fact that we were organized as silos. Each and every single business line has been working to develop solutions building on their own data. This is why we asked Pacman to help ourselves and to transform the way we work, putting data at the center, putting data available for everyone into the organization. And now is the needs that is driving, no longer the ownership, provided that all applicable regulation, rules, and so on are always met. And this is the way we have identified in order to make possible to develop solutions as microservices, combining them. We are now in the position of building up a comprehensive and self-standing solution. And this microservices can talk to data sources, to data domain, as we call them, through a decoupling layer. So this decoupling layer is actually making possible to have solutions decoupled from data. And this is actually a kind of paradigm shift for ourselves, because we're coming from a very traditional approach, and now we are transforming the way we manage our IT development in order to have this decoupling always ensured. And this is actually the best enabler possible in our view, to enable what we call the data democratization. Because if you want to use your data to drive a solution, then you need to make your data known to the decoupling layer, so to the data platform that is actually used in the company. Otherwise, so your solutions will not see your data. And this is the reason why, all the data domain we have in our company now are spreading and available, I would say, to whatever final use case you have to develop. Then we said know-how. This is why we have built an internal data factory made of more or less 100 very talented people, most of them data scientists, but we have included in our central AI factory data architects and data engineers as well. And we have built up a kind of network. So in each and every single business line, we have set up a data competence center that is actually ensuring the proximity to the business. And it is working with the central team in order then to develop data products and algorithms and machine learning solution. But you can have also 1,000 data scientists in-house, but to me, it won't be enough, given the fact that we are talking about technology that is actually rapidly changing, and you need to be up to date all the time. And this is why we have created a kind of open ecosystem in which we are working together with our innovation hubs, with startups, with universities, with our suppliers, with our partners, industrial partners, and also with AI and data communities, in order then to challenge ourselves about what the technical background of our people is, and if we are able then to tackle all possible, I would say, solutions to address the problems and the challenges we have in our group. And then, as we said, data culture. Data culture is actually, I would say, the conditio sine qua non according to us. You can spend billions of euros in digitizing your assets, but in the end, you have to have people not listening at their gut feeling, but relying on data, relying on insights, relying on algorithms to have what Gartner called the augmented intelligence. We are not looking for something that is going to replace our field engineers that we believe are the best in their field. We are looking for something that can help our field engineers in taking decisions in a more reliable way, in a more, I would say, timely manner, and so on and so on. And this is why we began with training. So we have set up an internal data school in which we are covering from the very basic, for instance, fundamental of statistics, to very advanced schools like deep learning for data scientists or computer vision, and we are providing our people, not only the people supposed to develop algorithms, but also people from operation and maintenance, strategy, marketing, planning and control, and so on and so on, with training specialized on data. Then we have launched an internal communication campaign that is actually telling and describing our projects basing on true stories that are actually described and explained by our people. So our data scientists are explaining how a specific project has been developed with what aims and so on and so on. And finally, community. So we are managing an internal data community that is now including more than 500 colleagues. And it's a kind of virtual place where they can find the possibility of spreading best practices, spreading problems, spreading solutions, sharing how we have tackled the specific problem, and so on and so on. And this is, I would say, instrumental to me to build up a kind of backbone inside the company that is actually providing us with a drive in having this transformation put at scale. But then let's start how we are using data. This is a very, I would say, high-level list of how we are covering with data products our value chain. So let's start from assets, where everything began, actually, because we began working with AI to improve the way we manage our assets, I would say, since several years, I would say, ago. And then we moved, for instance, to use data to improve the way we interact with our customers. So looking at their behaviors in order to understand whether they are likely to churn for another provider. Then we are applying, I would say, for instance, natural language processing to improve the way we can assist our customers, or the way we can process our documentation. And we are using also AI when it comes to staff processes. For instance, to have our financial forecasts done automatically, looking at historical series and looking at the outside evolution of some specific parameters and metrics that are relevant, I would say, for our business. And this is very, very useful because, you know, AI is now one of the main drivers we see to unlock the value of automation and more and more coordination and support processes that, you know, are usually left behind when it comes to digitalization and AI or machine learning implementation. But let's see some real example of actually what we are doing in Enel. I would start from assets. So in this case, you will see our predictive maintenance tool for our hydro operation. So to manage the dam, we have our operation and maintenance people now enabled to use a specific tool that is actually including a lot of machine learning algorithms that are actually delivering anomaly detection, and they can set the parameters needed to manage and to optimize then the maintenance schedule, and they can spot with early warning alerts some problem that is arising in order then to avoid disruptive failure then can affect in a significant way then the production schedule and the maintenance schedule. Then another example, this time applied to documentation. So natural language processing and computer vision put together in order to have a tool, a solution that is actually able to analyze in automatic way all the documentation we are receiving inbound in order to retrieve all information needed to enable then a kind of automatic management of all the requests we are receiving from our customers. And this is very helpful for us given the amount of documentation inbound we are receiving every day. And finally, an example related to how to use AI to understand what's going on outside Enel when it comes to our reputation. We are an utility. We are working, I would say, with the communities in where we operate. And so our reputation is very important for us, because through this tool, you can spot whether we have some situations to be addressed at a local level and specific communities that is arising, for instance, from press release on Twitters and so on and so on. So this were, I would say, a few examples of a very wide portfolio of solutions we have been developing so far. And, you know, the best has yet to come, given the fact that to have this transformation at scale, you have to keep working on that at all levels of the organizations. And you have to share with all the colleagues of the company what the importance of having such a transformation done is. So thank you very much for your attention. Mohsin, I hope to be on time. And
thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much for the presentation. We have now time for question and answer. Please, we have 7 minutes, guys, for questions. You can either type or raise a hand that we can see you and we can give you a microphone, because we have enough time for question and answer. Yes, Giuseppe, you see the question, yeah? Oh, it is in the chat box. Hello, Giuseppe. What's the trick to engaging business colleagues furthest from technology and consequently more worried?
Okay, so the trick to engage business colleagues to me is to work. So the data-driven transformation is nothing to do with IT, according to me. IT is only an enabler, because IT has to make, I would say, data available, and has to have to put in place all the conditions in order then to develop all the possible solutions. But in the end, so data-driven transformation is actually a way to address business challenges, and this is, to me, the way to start. You need to understand with the business colleagues that are very, very far from IT and technology and so on, and that can see only the burden of having data department working together with them, and that you have to team up in order to find out the solutions to their problems, I would say, to address their challenges. The Agile way of working is helping a lot in doing that, because, for instance, we are working organized in squads in which the product owner, so who's leading the room, is actually someone from the business that is specifying what the challenge is, how the challenge has to be addressed, and so on and so on. And in the end, you know, IT is only providing technical know-how. So my suggestion would be try to work in an agile manner in order to have all people working together in the same room with no distinctions between, I would say, from where function they come from, and having a common aim. So to address a specific business challenge, then by using whatever technology can be.
Thanks a lot. We have so many questions. Thanks a lot. So another question, Alessandro Tomasino, please try to write first name and company name, guys, that we can introduce you properly, who's from which company. The question is, Giuseppe, how do you suggest vendors to approach your organization?
So we are working with a lot of vendors, and we are always happy to team up with vendors to understand whether we can improve the way we work. In the end, to be honest and to be frank, In some cases, we have been developing our own solution. Why? Because we felt the need of having something that was, I would say, tailored on our specific needs. For instance, the platform we are using to model, to training, to manage the training of our model, then to put into production our model, and so on, is what we call our machine learning factory. That is a platform that has been built in-house, and this is something that we needed to have because we are making available sandboxes and controlled environment for our data scientists then to speed up the startup of a project and so on, and to enable the reuse of basic feature of models. But also in this case, we have been teaming up with the specific vendors because we are not a technology provider. And in this very time, we are, for instance, teaming up with another vendor in order to test up a very powerful virtualization tool. We are working a lot with providers of visualization solutions. So we are always open to challenge ourselves in front of a viable technical solution. So my suggestion would be get in touch directly with me or through our website with our procurement guys, and it will be a pleasure for us then to double check whether we have some opportunities to tackle.
Thanks a lot. Thank you so much. We have just 1 minute, but the questions are a lot. I appreciate a short reply for this question for Maria Laura. Hello, and thank you for your presentation. I'm wondering how much time it took to turn Enel into a data-driven business at this high level, and after how much time you started to see results after this switch. Thank you.
I would revert the question. So how much time it will take to turn? Why? Because it's a very long journey to me, a very long-lasting journey. So we began in 2019 with a very fully comprehensive program. So the data-driven transformation program of Enel. We are grabbing the sun now. We are putting a lot of algorithms in production, and this is, I would say, the year of the scale up, as we call it, because we are moving into a direction to scale up our piloting approach. So we have been using in the first periods to test ourselves and to figure out what the best way to do that was. It is a long-lasting journey, according to me, as all the deep transformation, but you need to have quick and effective at the very beginning of your journey, because then you have to overcome all the possible skepticism you will meet when you will launch such a transformation journey.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Giuseppe and Marina from Telecom Italia as well. If you could do me a favor, today at 10:55, we were supposed to have a presentation from Bankia, but she has some problem. They were on holiday and they got stuck in the hotel for quarantine story. So her internet was very bad. She cannot join the presentation. So during this time of from 10:55 to 11:10, we have time for interactive discussions. If you could be online, that participants could have the microphone as well, then we could have continuous, because